Okay, this is going to be the first lesson in Unit 6 in Algebra 1. This is going to be on exponent rules. The first thing that I want to talk about, okay, is the concept of basically a monomial term, okay? Now, this number right here, we will refer to as the coefficient. This number right here is referred to as the exponent. And this right here is the base, okay? So there are three main exponent rules, okay? The first rule involves multiplication, okay? Here is the rule. Multiply coefficients, add, all right? Multiply coefficients, add exponents of like bases. Okay? So first rule, multiplication rule. You multiply the coefficients, add the exponents of like bases. So I'll just do one example of this. 2 times 7 would be 14. Since these both are i's, 5 plus 3 would be 8. Okay? All right, so that's the multiplication rule. Let me hop over here to this one right here. This is division. The reason why I want to jump over here is pretty simply, multiplication is the opposite of division. If we multiplied coefficients and added exponents, with division, you divide coefficients and subtract exponents. Okay, all right, so I do 28 divided by 4 is 7. Subtract my exponents. 14 minus 6 is 8. So, that's an I there. I to the 8th, okay? All right, so that's how you do that, all right? The middle one, this is the power rule. Power rule, okay? All right? Power rule. What you do is you raise your coefficient by the outside exponent. Okay? So this becomes 3 to the 4th power. Okay? 3 to the 4th power. Okay? What we want to do is type that in the calculator. Okay? So 3 caret 4, okay? It is an exponent, so you want to create that. That would be 81. You want to multiply inside exponents by outside exponents, okay? So 7 times 4 is 28, so that would be I to the 28th power, okay? All right? So, 3 rules. Multiplication, multiply coefficients, add exponents. Division, divide coefficients, subtract exponents, so opposite. Power rule, raise the coefficient by the outside exponent. Type it into the calculator with the caret sign, okay? Then multiply the inside exponents by the outside, okay? So here's an example. This is multiplication. So I would multiply 9 times 5, which is 45. Now, I want to add the i's, that's 4 and 2, which would give me 6, and then add the j's, 7 and 9, which would give me 16. So this would be my answer. So you have to add the like ones, okay? This is the power rule, okay? So raise the exponent, or the coefficient by that exponent. So 2 caret 6, first thing I want to do, 64, okay? Then I'm multiplying. 2 times 6 would be 12 for I. 10 times 6 would be 60 for j. So I to the 12th, all right, j to the 60. Okay? All right, this one, division. I want to divide 30 divided by 45. Now, we want a fraction here. So if I do that fraction, that's going to be 2 over 3. Okay? All right, I'm going to subtract my exponents. 12 minus 10. So for the i's would be 2. I keep that up top here. I'll talk about in a little bit what you do if that ends up being negative, okay? Then I got 42 minus 6 which would be 36. Okay? And those are the rules. Okay? So, what I'd like you guys to do, okay, is go ahead, pause your video, okay, and go ahead and work on these. Okay? All right, so this one is the multiplication rule. So 15 times 4 gives me 60. Now I want to do 12 plus 6 is 18. Boom, there's my first answer. This is the power rule. So this would be 3 to the third. So I want to use that caret, 3 caret 3. That's 27, okay? Then I'm going to multiply. 8 times 3 would be 24, okay? All right. Now I got division. 50 divided by 5 would be 10. Then I want to do 17 minus 4, which is 13. Okay? All right. This one, multiplication rule, 9 times 7, 63. Add the i's. 15 and 11 would be 26. Add the j's. 21 and 40 would be 61. That would be my answer there. Okay? Here's the power rule. 5 caret 4, I want to make that the exponent. Okay? So 5 caret 4. Do that before you do anything else. 625. Multiply. 2 times 4, 8. 6 times 4, 24. That would be that one. Okay? Got division here. Okay? 42 divided by 60. Okay? Give myself a fraction. 7 over 10. Subtract those. 19 minus 17. 2. 5 minus 2. 3. And that would be my answer. Okay? So basic exponent rules. Now we're going to build on these a little bit. Okay? All right, we're going to build on those. All right. I want to talk about invisible exponents and invisible coefficients. Then I want to talk about negative exponents and zero power exponents. Okay. Invisible exponents. Anytime, if you notice here, this x does not have an exponent, I am going to make that a 1. So make sure, if you have that in there, okay, that is a 1. If you ever have an invisible coefficient, meaning you don't have one there, that's also going to be a 1. So put those in prior to doing any of your exponent rules. Now, these right here are really what we call finishing rules. Okay, finishing rules. All right, when your answer gets done, now this is only when you're done. Only when done. Okay, you've applied the rule. Okay, if you have a negative exponent, that letter, okay, all right, that letter. So if I have 10, y to the 8th stays positive. This letter and its exponent go underneath and now become positive. So what this would be as you finished would be that. So only the negative letter moves underneath, and if you notice, it becomes positive. So if you have a fraction, and this is why the fraction deal is important. This 2/3, the x to the 5th stays up here. If you notice this y to the negative 4th, that's now going to go down on the bottom and become y4. This z also going to go on the bottom and become z7. And so that ends up being your final answer. That's your finishing answer, okay? Zero power exponent. And this is for letters only, okay? Don't apply this rule for numbers. If you get an x to the 0 or a variable to the 0, that just goes away and you're left with the other parts. Same thing here. This goes away. You're just left with the other parts. Okay? This right here, both of those would go away. So 10 over 3, just the x squared would be remaining. So basically what happens when you have the 0, just eliminate that letter and continue to work your problem. Okay? So now we're gonna finish class by applying those principles to our other problems. Okay? We're gonna look for hidden exponents. We're going to look for hidden coefficients, and we're going to apply our finishing rules after we apply our other rules. Okay? So if I look at this one, this x has x to the 1st. Okay? All right, I don't see anything else hidden. Okay, this is multiplication. So what do I do in multiplication? I want to multiply the 10 and the 3, which would give me 30. I want to add the exponents now. So that would be 1 plus 7, which would be 8, x to the 8th power. And then I want to do 7 plus 12, which would be 19. Okay, so that would be my answer. There's no finishing rules necessary there. Okay, let's go on to number 2. This is also multiplication. All right, I got a coefficient. Oh, I need to put that exponent in. All right, coefficient, exponent, exponent. Okay, so I'm going to apply the rule of multiplication. 18 times 2, which is 36. I want to add these exponents. Okay, so 5 plus negative 9 gives me x as negative 4. And then I want to do 1 plus 4, which would give me y as 5. Now I've applied my rule. But if you notice, I got some negative exponents. So what's going to happen there? I got 36. That y to the 5th is going to stay up there. But underneath is going to go x to the positive 4. And so that's what I would write for my final answer. Okay? All right, let's go on to 3. All right, there's a missing coefficient 1, missing exponent, missing coefficient, and then I got those things. Okay? So let's apply the rule. This is multiplication. 1 times 1 is just 1. Okay? X, let's look at that. I'm going to add those x's. 2 plus negative 10 is negative 8. Okay? Then I got 1 plus negative 1 gives me y to the 0. Okay? So I done my rule. Now I got to apply my finishing rule. So I got 1. Okay? That x to the negative 8 is going to go underneath and become x to the 8th. That y to the 0 is going to go away. So this ends up being my final answer. Okay? Let's go to this one. Okay, got a coefficient, need this exponent there. Okay? So this is a power rule. So 2, 8. Okay? All right, so 2 to the 8th gives me 256. Okay, x, I'm going to do 1 times 8, which would be 8. 5 times 8, which would be 40. And that ends up giving my final answer. Okay? All right, let's look at this one. This one's missing a 1 here, so I got to put that. Then I got the other things. So this is a power rule, 1 to the 3rd. Okay? Use your calculator. 1 caret 3. It's going to be 1. All right, x. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 3 is going to be 27. So this is what I would have for an answer there. Okay? All right. Now, let's look at this. We got a good there. So the power there is 3 to the negative 5. I got x. Oh, whoops, hold on. That one I'm going too fast. 3 to the negative 5, so let's use our calculator. 3 arrow, negative 5. Okay, we want to get a fraction. 1 over 243. Okay, now I'm going to multiply. 4 times 5 would be negative 20. Notice how I put that up here to start. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. So, there's only one thing that's going to move here. This x to the negative 20. Okay, the y15 stays up top with 1. 243 x to the 20th is now on the bottom. Okay? All right, now I got division. Okay? Division rule. Okay, I got 14 divided by 2 would give me 7. X, let's do I would subtract. 2 minus 15 is negative 13. 7 minus 6 is going to be y to the 1st. Okay? Now I've applied that rule. What's the only thing I got to do? I got this negative right here, so that's 7y to the 1st, x to the 13th on the bottom. Okay? Last question here. Okay? I got 20 divided by 35. Get myself a fraction, it's going to be 4 over 7. All right? I got to put that hidden exponent there of 1 in there. Okay? So I got 2 minus 2 would be x to the 0. 1 minus 7 would be y to the negative 6. And then I got 10 minus 3. I got z to the negative to the 7th. Now, what's going to happen here? That x to the 0 goes away. That y to the 6 is going to go underneath, and the z to the 7th will stay up top. Okay? So those finishing rules, you have to apply those, okay, once your problem is done. Okay? All right. So what I'd like you guys to do is pause your video and go ahead and work on those questions. Okay, go ahead and unpause. All right, let's make sure we got all our exponents. Got exponents, coefficients, exponent. Good. Okay, so 18 times 4 is 72. I want to add those two numbers. 2 plus negative 14 is negative 12, and 5 plus negative 3 is 2. So I got I negative 12, J2, okay? Is anything going to move? Yeah, that I12 is now going to go underneath and become positive, and the J2 stays up there, and that ends up being your answer, okay? All right, now here, I'm missing this, okay? So we got multiplication, 12 times 1, just going to be 12, okay? I'm going to add these and add those, okay? So 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. 4 plus negative 9 is negative 5. So I got I negative 2, J negative 5. Now, because those negatives, I got to move those, so that's I 2, J 5. Notice how both of those exponents end up being positive after we move them. Okay? All right, got everything there. So I'll do 9, 2, so 9 caret 2, 81. I want to multiply. 2 times negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. 4 times 2 would be 8. Okay? Now, what's going to move here? Just this part. So the J8 stays up top. I to the 4th now goes underneath. Okay? I'm missing a couple things here. Missing this, missing this. Okay? This is a power, so it's going to be 1 to the 4th power. 1 exponent 4. Just going to give me 1. Okay? 5 times 4, I20. 1 times 4, 4. Negative 9 times 4, negative 36. Okay, so I've applied the rule. What's the only thing that's going to move? That thing. So I20 and was it M? Sorry, that should have been M. M4 stays up top. The J, okay, the J moves underneath and becomes positive 36. Okay? Let's go look at these. This one's missing a 1 here. Okay? All right? So I got 24 divided by 4, which gives me 6. All right? 10 minus 1 would be 9. 3 minus 12 is negative 9. So, what's going to move? Just that J. The I stays up there, and the J to the 9th goes underneath. Okay? I don't think I'm missing any coefficients. Nope, I'm good. So let's go 26 divided by 42. Okay, give myself a fraction, 13 over 21. Okay, 2 minus 2 is 0 for I. 4 minus 11 is negative 7. And 7 minus 3 is 4. Okay, so you have 13 over 21. Okay, the I to the 0 goes away, J7 goes down underneath, M4 stays up top. Okay? So that's a good start to the exponent rules. Next class, we'll keep going over those and introduce a couple more challenging ones.